all our presence. I am welcoming BASAVA sir on behalf of Yoshi Kerala Group. Welcome BASAVA sir. Good evening, sir. Now you can take care of the session, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, all. Namaskara. So yesterday we were discussing the Yin and Yang principle. So Yin and Yang, it is not the entity, it is a two state of the one process. So just assume yourself when you are in Yang and adulthood and childhood, consider as a Yang. So after 40, 50 years, you consider as a Yin. Same person, same energy, but we are considering into two phases. Like that, the morning is Yin, evening is Yang. But always it's keep on changing, it's dynamic. So look at this. When you wake up in the morning, around 6, the sunrise, so there is a Yang energy. Even the Yang energy starts before that. So maybe 4, 4:35. There's the early morning, what we call. So that has a Yang, but not much. That Yang contains Yin also. When day progresses, the Yang will rise. But always you cannot divide any Yin and Yang. Where there is a Yang, there is a Yin also. So we can say around mid-noon, 12, 12:31, we can say it's an extreme Yang. So from 11 to 1, we are considering as a good Yang energy. So once after 12, 12:30, slowly sun is going towards west. In the atmosphere, the temperature goes down and the coldness, the Yin will rise slowly. So that continue to rise till sunset. So after sunset, it will be more dark and more cold. So then it's a maximum Yin, we call, from almost from 7 o'clock to midnight, 12 o'clock. There is a time where we have maximum Yin energy in our body as well as in the external environment. So Yin and Yang, it's a stage. It's a state where we call as, and always whenever we define Yang, we define with respect to Yin only. So that's what we call, so from 12 to 6, there's a Yin, but within Yang. At the same time, 12 to 6, there is a Yang is there, but within Yin. So like that, Yin and Yang, they are not separate entity. They are the two states of same entity. Within you also, there is a man and there is a woman. You express both the feelings based on the situation. So due to that, Yin and Yang is a two states, two energy that we are using to compare and to segregate the energy levels and disease states. So as we discussed yesterday, both are required. So Yin, as we told, it's a substance. The substance or mass is required to build your muscles, skin, and tissues. So it's a nourishment. Without that, you can't exist. At the same time, the equal importance to yang. Whatever you are weighing, it may be a thin or it may be heavyweight or obese. That doesn't matter. You should have a proper yang energy. If yang energy is good, definitely your function of the organ will be good. Both are contradictory and both are interdependent. If you have good substance, then only you can create good function. If you have very good function of the organ, with that, you can digest your food, you can circulate your food, you can separate your food, and you can create the substance again. Both yin and yang, are required to the body for proper functioning of the human body. So look at the symbol, it tells you very clear. It just compared with one season. Like that, you can compare with the whole year, and you can compare with one earth cycle, even one the astrologer also compare with one cycle of Guru, Shani and all. So many times people will tell, no, so he is having Guru Dasha, so his time is good. So how earth is taking 1 year to rotate the sun, after 1 year what happens? The season begins again. It's a cycle. Like that, Guru, or what we call in English, it's a Jupiter. It takes 12 years for rotation. So in astrology, they tell that every 12 years, your energy repeats. If you are rising now, then you feel some changes after 12 years. The same changes you can repeat after 12 years. So you yourself, you can observe. If you're feeling sick now, the same sickness you can observe 12 years back. It may be intensively high or low. If some new projects are doing now, the same beginning it also happened 12 years back. So that's how it happens. So it's a cycle. In every cycle, both yin and yang, they are moving each other. One is contracting, another one is growing. Like that, it will go. We cannot say which is big, which is low. It's comparatively we tell. In a day, I told afternoon is yang, night is yin. But in afternoon also, you cannot say it's completely yang. That also changes based on the season. In the summer, it's more yang. In winter, less yang. In rainy season, more dampness. Now, since 2 days in Bangalore here, no sunlight, completely whole day is raining. How can I say afternoon is yang? It's keep on changing based on the seasons, based on the day, based on the cycles. So we can say it's a comparatively. So that's what within white there is a black dot, and this is black white dot. This is meaning that there is no absolute yin or absolute yang in the nature. Within yin there is a yang, and within yang there is a yin. Even if we take atom level also, the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. There is a electrons are yang. The protons and neutrons, which it is a yin. So yin and yang both are interdependent. Clear? I hope. So this you can understand better. So when you follow this, next upcoming slides. So whenever any organ or any tissue, if you feel it is excess or deficient, or what you can say, it's hyperactive or hypoactive. Both are causing problem. If you take a liver, if it is working hyper, we call it as a liver pitta is more. If it is hypoactive, then we call liver stagnation. So both the way, any organ or any tissue should be balanced. Means to functioning of any organ, to nourishment of your body, both are required. So that's what the symbol arrow mark is representing that yin is coldness. Cold means contracting. It's always moving towards center. In your body also, the deep organs, which is covered within the rib cage, then we call it as the yin organs because they are contracted and they are center, they are within rib cage. They are in deep, like heart, lungs, liver, spleen, kidney. All these are within rib cage. They are deep inside. There is a yin organs. The yang organs, they are outside the rib cage. They are dispersive. So urinary bladder, large intestine, small intestine, spinal cord, gallbladder, all these things, it's a yang organs. So what is the function of yang organs? It is functioning and protecting with warmness. What is yin is doing? It is making you cool, relaxed, sleep and nourishment. Just imagine the father is yang and mother is yin. So mother is within house and cooling and nourishing. The father is going out and protecting house. So both are required. In each and every disease, the first conclusion we have to make whether the suffering symptoms by the patient, it belongs to yin or yang. For example, if the pain is exactly in one position, then it is not moving, it is contracted, then it is a yin. If the pain is moving here, one time pain here, other time here, other time here, if the pain is moving, then it is a yang. If it is a very dull, continuous pain, yin. If it's sudden, severe pain, it's a yang. Clear? Like this in not only in pain, in every symptoms, you can see, you can check the force, you can check the color, you can check the intensity, then you can decide it's a yin or yang. For example, if you got loose motion, so loose motion means it's a yin. So most of the times people will get loose motion due to food infection. It's due to coldness because infection happens with coldness. And vomiting because it's coming upward, ascending, vomiting and nausea and headache. Then we can call it as a yang. Then it's not always true. We cannot say it is always yang, always yin. But with ascending, we can tell. But within that also, again, we have to segregate yin and yang. Okay, loose motion is there. If it is very smelly, smell means it's yang. If no smell, then it is yin. In vomiting also, if you are vomiting clear white or clear or white fluid, then it is a yin. If you are vomiting yellowish fluid, then it is a yang. So, if you categorize the symptom, then it is easy to treat because there is a ready-made points already. If you are doing vomiting with coldness, then we consider as a yin. Then what we do, we give a point to reduce the stomach in. The person is vomiting the yellowish fluid with food or without food, with headache or with that fluid is very smelly, then we consider it as a yang. Then we reduce the stomach heat. Clear? The basic thing you need to do is you have to categorize the symptom. Vomiting with heat. How can you decide the vomiting may be smelly or vomiting may be yellowish fluids or vomiting associated with headache or vomiting happens with the red hot flashes in the face. All are yang symptoms. Or vomiting happens with continuous heavy pain, stomach pain. Clear? If you understand this, then we can move to next. Yes, Chitan?
Good evening, sir. Actually, right, I encountered this problem yesterday, so I thought I'll check with you directly instead of dragging it till the end of the session. So what happened yesterday, the chillness was too high. Chennai had a very bad weather and so on. It was a continuous rain. I felt very chill and so on. The yin was excess. I felt that I was unable to sleep. But some food infection had happened yesterday night, whichever I took. What happened? I got a similar yellow fluid, but the taste, it was not smelly, but the taste was very bad. I was having the acidity taste coming out from that yellow fluid. That was the thing. So how should I understand? Yin was excess, I couldn't sleep. Is it because of the yang that has increased to have this yellow fluid vomit yesterday? I just trying to correlate with what you are teaching right now. Experience that I
vomiting fluid is very smelly. And
no, it was not smelly. It was taste was bitter taste, acidity taste.
No smell. It's not smelly.
No, it was not.
Then it is stomach coldness.
Stomach coldness. Okay.
And just reduce the stomach infection by applying the black color here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So I'm just trying to, because right now you are teaching about reducing the stomach heat with the yang increase, right? So I thought of just checking on that. Yeah, fine. Okay.
Just touch your palm by others. Either you can feel heat or cold very clearly.
Okay.
If your palm is warm, then it is heat.
Okay. Okay.
If the palm is cold, then it is in excess.
Okay, my palm is still only, even right now it is still only. My stomach is still not better today as well. So I have skipped my food until the stomach gets better.
Then you just press stomach point so that stomach yang will rise and it will saturate.
Sure, sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So here, what we discussed related vomiting. So you have to understand very clearly. Sometimes the yang is hidden within yin and yin is hidden within yang. So you have to keep on bifurcate and ask the question to patient, or you can check the pulse, palm, tongue, eyes. So because in everywhere you are getting the yin and yang. Look at this. So when you are checking the patient, you have to check all. How is his voice? I think Chital voice is little louder and talkative. It may be little fire will be there. So yin and yang, you have to check with all aspects, with the skin, air, teeth, lips, everything. So generally we take constipation is a lack of water. It's a yang. And loose stools is excess of water. It is a yin. But within that, again, we are checking and differentiating. And all inflammatory diseases is a yang, and all the infections are yin. If the tongue and face is reddish, then it is a yang. If the tongue and face is pale, then it is a yin. You check the palm and foot. If it is cold, then it is a yin. If it is warm and heat, then it's a yang. Clear? Hypoactivity is yin and hyperactivity is yang. So we'll go a little deeper. So where you're checking this coldness? You're checking that coldness with tongue. It may be a white coat. If it is a yang, then it is a red coat. You can ask the patient if they're feeling chilled, then we can say it is a yin. If they feel hot and sweating, then it is the heat. Similarly, even activity also, like hyperactivity of stomach, frequent hunger, it's a yang, not feeling hunger, yin. If the heartbeat is less than 80, less than 70, it is a yin. More than 85, more than 90, it is a yang. Many times we check the pulse oximeter, no? If it is showing 100, 110, then it is a yang. For many people, it is showing 55, 60, 70, less than 75, then it is a yin. Even with a pulse rate also you can consider. Even edema, swelling of the legs, hands, everywhere. We cannot say edema, of course it's a in excess. Even yang excess also the swelling happens due to inflammation. That time you have to press that. After pressing, if you are feeling pitting edema, then it is a yin. If you are pressing and skin is coming back, there is no pit, then it is a yang. Yin is less, yang is more. So the moment you tell yang is more, the entire treatment protocol and diagnosis is opposite. So that's what before going to diagnosing the meridian level, pulse level, and the organ level, first you have to divide the whether given symptoms is yin or yang. Clear? By just telling the tongue, for example, if you say open the tongue and check the tongue, if the tongue is wet, yin. If the tongue is dry and red and cracked, then it's yang. So wetness, dryness, activeness, passiveness, cold, heat, all these things will give you a clear information. For example, many people will tell the fever starts by evening with chillness. It is in excess. For many people, fever starts in the morning and afternoon. Then it is a yang. The cold cough starts by evening. It's a yin. So anything, any symptoms, if it is worsening by morning, they'll tell at night while going, I am asleep, I am fine. The moment morning I start get up, I am unable to walk. I am unable to bend. So that is morning is in. Sorry, yang. Night is in. So by evening or by night, if the symptoms are worsening, then it is a yin. Or else in the morning is a yang. So each and every parameter is playing role here to decide with respect to yin and yang. Even the nature of disease and whether there's contracting or dispersing. Check it out, how your kid is sleeping. Whether with the sleeping posture only you can check it out, we can tell where is the yin or yang. So how your kid is sleeping. If they are sleeping like this, curly, then it is a yin. They are sleeping with widened leg and hand, then it is a yang. So if the symptoms are expressing from inside to outside, like skin rashes and some allergy, pain, all are yang. Their symptoms are moving inside to outside. Some symptoms are moving outside to inside, like stomach pain and heaviness, numbness. That is yin. Clear? So, to understand still better about yin and yang, we are taking the relationship between yin and yang in 4 different ways. So, the first rule says the yin and yang are opposite. How they are opposite? Because the symptoms are opposite. It is heat and it is cold. It is a day, it's night. It's a dull, it's a severe. It's constant in one place, it's moving. So, the symptoms, we will take the first concept is opposite. Even all the organs and all the symptoms, we always consider opposite. For example, if one person says eye burning sensation, why eye is burning? Because the liver blood is deficient. So liver yin is less. When yin energy goes down, the yang will rise. So we take the first principle is opposite. The opposite rule says the symptoms which suffering the patient either heat related or cold related, or upward or downward. For example, any symptoms, it is above the diaphragm patient feels. Most of the times it's yang, headache, neck pain, shoulder pain, sleeplessness, giddiness. So all are yang. So most of the times patient complains below the navel, that's related to yin. Like urine inconsistency, edema, or gynec disorders, or chillness of the foot, or varicose veins, or knee pain, back pain. So it is yin. So yin is downward, yang is upward, because they are opposite. Clear? If the patient tells problems in the front side of the body, then it is yin. Because yin is smoother, yang is rough. The back side of your body is yang. So most of the complaints, it may be scapula pain, upper back pain, or back pain. 80% of the time, it's a yang excess. Sometimes yin excess also happens, but it is rare. Understood? So if any patient complains, the symptoms in the right side, tonsillitis right side is paining, then it is yang. If it is the left side, it is paining, then it is yin. So anything right, it's yang. Anything upper is yang. Anything down, anything left is yin. So now be clearly observe the patient. Simply tell headache means don't agree. You ask where is the headache, front or back, left or right. Okay. So if you go towards ascending order, the yang rises. Towards descending, yin. So you have to segregate very clearly based on the opposition. If the symptoms which are aggravating in the winter, then it's a yin. If the symptom aggravates in the summer, then it is a yang. Many people telling very clearly, no? The winter comes, I feel breathing problem. The winter comes, I'll get leg swelling. The winter comes, the skin itching increases. All are in. If the symptoms are increasing by March, April, May, then it is a yang. Okay. So you have to ask this question also. It is very, very important. Yin and yang. Okay. All of you understood opposite? The opposite theory of yin and yang. How we are segregating by taking the principle of opposite nature. All, you take all the characteristics of yin and all the characteristics of yang. And the given symptoms you check, whether it is heat or cold, hollow or solid. I told you, if any cyst is forming with hollow, it is a yang. The solid one is a yin. Even you have to check the color also, opposite way. If any red patches on the hand or face, then it is a yang. If it is a dark scales on the skin, like eczema, then it is a yin. If the itching is increasing by evening or night, it's a yin. If the itching increases if you go to sunlight, then it is a yang. For people, they get cold when they go to exposed to the dry sunlight, this dust. If you are getting cold, cough, allergy by exposing to dust, then it is a heat. Then it is a yang. If you are getting cold, cough, phlegm by exposing to coldness and water, then it is a yin. Is it clear? I think always the opposite rule says. So if yin is cold, this is yang. If yin is down, yang is top. If yin is front, yang is back. Got it? But in some severe cases, there is a chances of interfere also. I told you leg swelling. If it is a pitting edema, yin. If it is a non-pitting edema, it's a yang. But that happened in the legs. Even running nose also. If running nose sneezing happens with the dust, then it is a yang. If running nose sneezing happens with cold, by entering the AC room or by drinking cold water, then it is a yin. I hope you got an idea how we are taking the opposite principle of yin and yang. If the symptoms are starting by early morning or in the mid afternoon, then it is a yang. If the symptoms are starting by evening or night, then it is a yin. See, infections happens with damp cold. Any extra bacteria or any fungus growth, it happens with coldness. That's what it is in. Inflammation happens with due to heat stagnation. Inflammatory muscles, inflammatory skin, or inflammation with swelling, all are heat. Then it is a yang. Clear, Fredo? So next is interdependency. Before going into interdependency, let's have one question. Yes, Shali Grover.
Namaskar, sir. Sir, I want to ask whether the report will mention that the cyst is hollow or solid. How to know this?
Yeah, they will mention cyst filled with some water and all. Let's say aloe.
Okay.
If the cyst is not filled with water or fluid, then it is a solid. Okay, then it is a treat the in. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Fido.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm asking about when you are saying that something is a yin, is it means that the yin is deficient or excess?
It may be a yang deficient or it may be a in excess. Both are in only. I'll give you example. Wait.
Please.
For example, now if the cloudy rainy season, if you go out due to this coldness, okay, due to excess of in energy, you will get cough, cold, or a heaviness, or sinus, or phlegm, or indigestion. Then it is all these symptoms happen with due to in excess. Okay, it's acute. Whether you treat or not treat, it will go in 1 or 2 weeks. The same in, I will tell in another way. Your stomach has to digest the food. Due to yang deficiency, due to yang is the stomach is weak, it is unable to digest the food. So morning you take one cake, even by evening also you are not feeling hunger. That is also in, but that is not due to in excess. That in due to yang deficiency. So because of indigestion, he may vomit. The all food he may vomit. That vomiting is having some clear fluid or some white mucus. Because of that in, it's because of the yang deficiency. So yang deficiency also produces in, even in excess also produces in symptoms. You should be very careful to segregate that. That's what yesterday I clearly told. yang deficiency symptoms are chronic. That happens from long term in excess. If you have in excess, you are not treated for 6 months, 1 year or 2 years, then it converts into yang deficiency. The yang deficiency are chronic and continuous, and it is not symptoms are coming and going. So constantly you're suffering that symptoms. Similarly, when I say yang or yin deficiency, both are telling in symptoms. Okay, so I will show you a few examples in that. Look at this PPT video. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So both are cold only. Both are in only. But there's a difference in the symptoms. The in excess, this is the in excess, the excess coldness, or it's a very acute disease. The yang deficiency is the one which is chronic. Okay. So look at the pulse also. It's floating. It is a weak and deep. Even tongue also. It's a thick white coat, but here pale and swollen, and glassy look, and wet in nature. Even bowel also. In excess, after bowel momentum, you feel better. But in yang deficiency, after bowel momentum, you feel fatigue and worst. Because yang is deficient, it is unable to do the function.
Okay.
Got it? There is a huge difference between in excess and yang deficiency. So clearly, just check this PPT, which I can share you today. So you can go through once again. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Similarly, you can tell one more. So yang excess and in deficiency symptoms look similar, but they are different. If the whole face is red, then it is a yang excess. Only cheeks are red, then it is a in deficiency. Even when you are thirst, drinking 2-3 glasses at a time, then it is a yang. But feeling thirst, but drinking only 2-3 sip of water, then it is the heat is there, but that heat created due to indeficiency. You can't drink more water. So that is the main differences. Even fever also. If you are getting fever due to heat, your temperature will go to 103, 104. If it is a same fever you are getting due to indeficiency, it's a very low grade fever, 99, 100. It won't cross 100, 101 also. So yang excess, it is producing some symptoms due to more heat. The indeficiency also produces same heat symptoms, but that heat created due to deficiency of the fluids in the body. Your fluid should be there certain amount, but that much of fluids are not there in the body. When its fluids are going down, 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 that empty heat creates in the body.
And when it is empty heat means that yang is in excess.
Empty heat means the yang symptoms will be there, but that yang because of the indeficiency.
Okay.
It's because of indeficiency.
Indeficiency. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope it's clear for you. So when you are telling yang and yin and deficiency and excess.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So the first thing is we are considering the opposite nature of yin and yang. When I say yang, that yang may be due to yang excess or due to yin deficiency. When I say excess yin, that excess yin happens due to more cold and as well as due to yang deficiency. When function of the organ will go down, so that makes you cold. For example, if the heart function goes down, the entire area you feel holding and chilled. Just because of the yang deficiency in the heart. If the yang deficiency happens in the kidney, your food becomes chill and cold. If the yang deficiency happens in the spleen and stomach, then your legs will be numb. If the yang deficiency happens in the liver, your hands and shoulders will feel numb. If the yang deficiency happens in the lungs, the phlegm in the throat. Different organs produces different symptoms. But for you, basically you have to divide yin and yang. After dividing yin and yang, within yang, it may be yang excess or yin deficiency. Within yin, it may be a yang deficiency and yin excess. You can further divide, it's not an issue. But before dividing further, basically you have to divide whether symptoms of the patient belongs to yin and yang. I'll tell you one more principle so that you can understand better. The interdependency. The yin which produces the yang. The yang, it depends on yin. So one example is your body chi and blood. The chi means prana, the vital force. That's keep on moving all the body, all the meridians and all the chakras. So that is yang. And what are all the food you eat that absorbs and that juice converts into blood? Means blood is happening with nourishment. That is the yin. Yin is blood. Chi is yang. But for chi, there is no physical existence. So chi has to reside in the blood only. Even blood doesn't have direction. The blood follows the chi. So there is a interdependency between chi and blood. You got it? So if you are not getting, I'll give a simple example. Yang is a function. Yin is a nourishment. Your stomach yang depends on stomach yin. What is stomach yang? Digesting the food. If it has to digest the food, it has to work. To work, it needs food. Who is doing that? It's a blood is giving. Then blood is yin or yang. It's yang, it's yin. You're eating food. To digest that food, your stomach may take 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours. To work that 2-3 hours, for the stomach muscles, it requires glucose, it requires oxygen, it requires many things, no? Who is giving that? It is supplied by blood. So stomach yang is depending on the blood, that is stomach yin. Similarly, to form the blood, stomach has to digest the food. If your stomach is not digesting food, the food would convert into blood. So blood deficiency happens. then it is not unable to nourish the stomach. So there is a interdependency between yin and yang. There is the interdependency between yin blood and yang chi. It's not only, I give a simple example of stomach, like that, if you take any organ, to all the organs, both are required. Chi is required for the functioning and blood is required for the nourishment. The chi and blood are yang and yin of your body. So, any patient, if they are suffering with any chronic illness, for example, one patient suffering with a chronic acidity problem. Acidity is a in excess, or you can say it's a yang deficiency of the stomach. Stomach is unable to work. When you give treatment, rising function, rising yang is not sufficient. You have to rise little yin also. So that both yin and yang, there is interdependency to do the task. Is it clear for you? Interdependency. For example, if you have very good blood, then ovulation happens. Ovulation is a yang. It's a process of releasing the egg. It's a yang. But for that process, it is depending on the blood. There's interdependency. For somebody, blood is there for the ovulation, but yang is not there. The momentum is not there. So that also makes PCOD. So both yin and yang is required for any process. You take heart, stomach, kidney. For each and every organ, yin is required in the form of blood for the nourishment. The yang is required in the form of chi for the functioning. Clear? So let's just look at this slide once again. If you have any doubts, I will explain. We'll have a short break of 5 minutes. I'll come back to you. Just go through this slide. We'll meet after a short break of 5 minutes. So welcome back. This mutual dependency things is very important when you're treating the chronic disorders. Why? Because in most of the chronic disorders, both yin and yang is deficient. So that time treating one side is not sufficient. As yang may excess, but yin may be deficient. Sometimes yin and yang is deficient. So that's what the blood and chi both are mutually depend on each other. Okay, if chi deficiency is there, you have to increase the blood because blood is a resident for the chi. If the blood is deficient, you have to raise the chi, increase the function of the organ, increase the productivity of the function digestion system, and convert that into blood. In this way, we have to do. So we are using this mutual dependency thing whenever we require for the treatment. And last and third one is the wax fanning. So this is also one of the important theory and concept in Yin and Yang. It is telling waxing and waning means increasing and decreasing. Yin wane with yang wax or yang wane with yin wax. It's like a seesaw. Whenever the yang goes down, the yin will rise. Like this. Or else the yin goes down, the yang will rise. So that's what the chart I told. Overall, having yang excess for longer days, the yin will collapse. The excess heat consumes the fluid. So yin become deficient. When yang is excess for longer days, yin will go down. So this we will use this concept to diagnose disease. Why the yin deficiency happened? Yesterday I told. Why yin deficiency happened? Because of the long-term yang excess. Why yang deficiency happened? Long-term in excess. So whenever any one will rise, the other will fall down. This is also used in the treatment. Whenever yin is excess, either you can reduce the yin. For example, if you feel cold, cough, nose congestion, this yin is excess. For you have two options or two possibilities for the treatment. The first possibility, reduce the yin. The second possibility, raise the yang. The moment you raise the yang, the yin will reduce. I'll give you a simple example. Just look at this. Just assume there's a one small seesaw. Just imagine this is a seesaw. This side is yin and that side is yang. So simple example we will take. This is your stomach and this is your spleen. So What is the function of stomach? Digest the food. Plus, it is transport it will transport the food. What spleen will do? It is transforming food into blood, and it absorbs the food. So now, whenever any imbalance happens in this yin and yang, for you always there's a two possibility options will be there. For example, one person is obese. Obesity is there. How you can treat? You can reduce spleen in energy, or you can rise stomach yin or stomach yang. Both possibilities will be there. Whenever you raise the stomach yang, spleen will go down. Whenever you raise the spleen in, stomach yang will go down. You want to try this? Shall I give a simple example? If you are feeling, if your hunger is good, and but nourishment is poor, the spleen is not absorbing the food. Just try this. In the left hand, middle finger, in the second line, and this is the spleen coldness point, spleen in energy. With your right hand index finger, just touch this point. How much? Only 10 seconds. Just touch this for 10 seconds. How I am doing. Very light, gentle touch. You did this? No? What you did? You raised spleen in. Okay. Wax Waning tells whenever you raise the in, the yang will go down. Which yang will go down? The pair organ. For the spleen, the pair organ is stomach. So whenever you raise spleen in energy, the stomach yang will go down. So definitely you can share your experience after 2-3 days. So your hunger will go down, your absorption will increase. If you are a kapha nature body, you may gain half kg, 1 kg weight by next Thursday when you see the next class. If your pitta nature body is there, then because you are already in the higher metabolism rate, you won't gain the weight, but little bit of stomach hunger will reduce. If you are a Vata type body, so definitely there will be a little moisture on the skin because of this spleen in energy. Okay. Just observe yourself 2-3 days and share your experience in the group. This is a simple example. Like that, so many pair organs are there. So that we will discuss in the upcoming week. This week, we are dedicatingly knowing about the yin and yang and its principles. So interdependency and wax fanning of yin and yang is very, very important. Why? Because it will help you to segregate the disease and as well as to understand better about the dependency loss. Always don't see yin and yang as enemies, India, Pakistan. It's wrong. There is a dependency between them. There is a second law. The third law says, anyone rises, other one will fall down. Today we raised spleen. See that stomach will go down, the spleen will increase. The next question comes. Always there is a people of set of yin people, set of yang people. So now this is the point for the young people. If you are already having cold, if you are already having heat, for you I'll tell you one more point, don't worry. So middle finger, the end of this line, here, just above the line, just touch this point for 10 seconds. Just, this is the end of this line, just above that line, just touch 10 seconds. Overall did spleen in touch, you don't do this. Anyone. This you can do if you are already is having the coldness in the body and obesity. This will rise the fire. If any symptoms aggravation, let me know so that I can reverse. Clear? Will you do this? Yin and yang. If stomach hunger is less, just reduce the spleen coldness, stomach hunger will come back. Whatever you eat, you are not absorbing the food. Then you raise the stomach heat, reduce the stomach heat, your food absorption will increase. By putting one methi seed on the stomach 42 years, in many patients, we raised hemoglobin within 3 days. If your hemoglobin is 7, 8 today, just put one methi seed here. What happens? Your stomach yang will go down, the spleen yin will rise up, and it absorbs the food and converts into blood. That is wax fanning of yin and yang. The second law says interdependency. If yin is there, that nourishes the yang. If yang is there, that nourishes the yin. That is the second one. The third one is opposite. Let's see last and fourth one. It is the transformation of yin and yang. Anything excess converts into other. Excess yin converts into yang. Already I given this example. If anybody sleepy, drowsy in the daytime, why? The excess heat made you drowsy. The yang is converted into yin. For few people, I told another example. After applying black, they didn't get the sleep. Why? The excess of yin, they converted into yang. That's what they didn't get. So, after certain stage of rising of yin or yang, it converts into other. For example, in new moon day, Amavasya, full dark night converts into bright day. The bright day converts into dark night. This is a cycle. That's how your life journey starts. The seed which is fallen on the earth, which is inside the soil for 3-4 months, November, December, January, February, it is there inside the earth. The deep in converts into yang, the rain falls, it becomes sprout and become a tree. Anything extreme convert into other. You might have seen many people who are all having excess of high BP. Doctor tells you should take medicine. Due to excess of BP, there's a chances of getting paralysis. Why? BP means extreme yang. If you are not converting, holding that, it converts into yin. Yes or no? Converting into yin. So that's what, don't make anything extreme. Excess yang, it may mix coma also. Anything excess, it converts into other. You might have observed one thing. If in your body, the yin rises. If certain point of thing, when yin rises more than threshold, it converts into yang. How? Have you observed in the night, sometime when you sleep, you feel like this jerk? Who felt that? Swati Bhagat? Yes, Swati?
Yes, sir. Sometimes we get that Kiare like this in sleep. And
So in sleep, you feel that.
yeah,
How?
they say, huh? Every 3-4 days I get that.
Then your body is having excess of yin. Your body is having excess of yin. Don't think that I'm getting momentum is yang. No. Your excess of yin converted into yang. Shall I give one solution? From today itself you won't get. Take one methi seed and one tape. Is there in your house? Bring now. Yeah, I will tell you the answer now only. Just bring tape. Okay.
Okay, sir. I'll bring.
Yeah, I'll give you 2 minutes time
Yes,
and
sir.
bring. So, it's a simple example I'm demonstrating you. Anything excess converts into other. The moment I say, Swati told, I'm getting jerks in the sleep. If you are getting jerks in the sleep, when you're sleeping. When you're sleeping means in or yang? In. If normal is in is there, you sleep peacefully. If less in is there, you feel disturbed sleep. If more in is there, that more in, it is dangerous to body. Why you know? When you sleep with more in, there's a chances of going into coma. To avoid that, body will create in between yang, this momentum. With this jerks, it is reducing the in. One more jerk, reducing the in. So, this is telling you the application of fourth law. The fourth law says, anything of excess in or excess yang, it converts into other.
I brought that.
Okay. So now, you do one thing. Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Left hand, middle finger, second line, the end of the second line, this point.
This side.
Yeah,
No, this side.
other side, here. The end of this line, just on the line, put one methi seed. Okay. Now time is 9:27 till 9:40. 12-13 minutes you put this and remove.
Only one seed.
Only one seed, only one time. Don't repeat for tomorrow.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. So next Thursday I will ask you
Yep, sir. Pakka.
whether checks are there or not. According to me, 100% pakka you won't get.
It's just in excess, you said, na, sir?
Definitely you are having in excess.
Oh,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you, sir. Thank
So I hope we got an idea how we are using these principles, yin and yang. Anything excess in transforms into yang. You do one thing, tomorrow whole day you walk. If you walk whole day, how many kilometers you walk? 10, 15, 20 kilometers. So there is yin or yang. If you walk 15, 20 kilometers, it is a yang, extreme yang by evening. By evening, it converts into yin. How? Deep sleep. Yes or no? If you do deep sleep, that is extreme yin. How is your next day? Very active, fresh, energetic. Yes or no? So, it means anything excess yin or excess yang, if you untreated, it converts into other. So, it's a false symptoms sometimes you get. But you have to carefully listen to patient and there are all the symptoms and pulse and tongue. Then you have to decide. So you can apply all these 4 laws for diagnosis and as well as for the treatment. Then, if you have any doubts in these 4 laws, you can ask. Yes, Abib Usman.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Sir, regarding stomach acidity, I thought you told it is yin. Is it yin
Yes.
or
It's a yin,
Stomach.
purely yin.
acidity means the movement is upward, no? So,
Why movement is upward? I'm asking that. What is the, when stomach is strong, I'll explain you. I will mute it. Some noise is there. When stomach is having more yang, how it is, you know? Whatever you give, it will push down. You give juice, you give water, you give biryani, you give rice, sambar, you give chapati, pizza, burger, whatever you give, it will push down. Why it is pushing down? Stomach is having strong yang energy. Whenever it is strong, it is always pushing down. When stomach becomes weak, it is unable to push down the food. Its yang is very less. When yang goes down, the food will reflex up. The acidity will reflex up. If you feel chest burning sensation, burping and hiccups, the original nature of stomach energy is downward. If it is upward, you cannot eat. Got it? So, like this, for all the organs, we are discussing the direction from the next week onwards. Okay. So acidity is a purely a yin. It's not yang. Gastric is a yang. Clear, Usman?
Okay, okay, sir.
Stomach is weak. It is unable to pull down. That's what it is reflexing up. So now you raise the yang, problem will be solved. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sir. One more doubt, sir.
Yeah.
When you talk about skin rashes,
Hmm.
you told skin rashes is from inside to outside body, so it can be treated as a yang activity.
Yes.
When we see the color, if it is black, then it will come in category,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So in that case, which criteria we take
No.
for final diagnosis?
See, there is no absolute yin and yang. Always in all the matter, there's a possibility of yin and yang. Of course, skin rashes is a yang, but it is a dark scaling, definitely it is a yin. Because of the darkness is yin, the brightness is yang. Got it? The eczema is yin. So skin rashes is a yang.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And so the blood carries chi. Is it like that? Blood is carrying chi.
Yes, blood is carrying chi, and chi is directing the blood.
So in that case, so our meridian is the pathway of chi.
Yeah.
Is it not like?
For example, if you have very good energy in the liver, then your chi will direct to the blood. Come, go to in liver meridian. It is showing the direction.
Okay, okay. So chi is not inside the blood.
No, chi is residing in the blood, but chi is responsible for directing the blood.
Okay.
Chi is responsible for directing the blood. It is directing. If you run, it is directing to the leg. If you think, it is directing to the head. If you get angry, so directing to head. In all this matter, blood is not responsible. It's the responsibility of the chi. For example, the spleen meridian is coming from the leg. You know that.
Yes.
Okay. Whenever spleen chi is deficient, whenever spleen is weak and stomach is weak, the spleen and stomach chi is unable to direct the blood towards the leg. Then you feel leg weakness. Always you putting leg like this. You are unable to leave down. Because of this, chi is deficient. Okay. So if chi is good, it is directing in that direction. If chi is not there in any organ, that organ won't get the blood. When blood is not there, obviously over the period of time, its function will go down, go down, go down.
Okay, sir. So in the meridian, what happens for chi? Chi is flowing through the meridian.
Yes, meridian is just like a road.
Yes.
Chi is a driver. It is directing. Blood is your car or bike. It is having. It is taking you actually. Without blood, without car or vehicle, you cannot move.
Move. Okay.
But without driver, can you drive? No.
Again, no.
So chi is a driver, and roads are the meridians, and your car is your blood. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Purnima. Krishna Kumar.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
This sometimes the small babies also while they are sleeping they give the jerk.
Yeah, definitely, it's a coldness.
So for them also the same treatment be given.
Just
It
press
is-
liver 3 point in the leg. It will be solved for them.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you, sir.
Why to give strong point to them?
Yeah, yeah, okay, thank you.
Just press liver 3 today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow. That's it. Problem solved.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Venkatesh.
Yes, Basaran. One second. See, when we are going through yin and yang for any diseases, based on these properties of yin and yang, we can identify whether it is yin or yang.
Tell me. Yeah.
Based on the symptoms, we can identify whether it is yin or yang. Okay, whether it is in excess or yang excess, or yin deficiency or yang deficiency. While treating, we usually use the 5 points. Okay, if it is in excess, we say that coldness is excess. Okay, and if it is yang excess, we say that heat is excess. Okay, are we using coldness and heat only for measuring yin and yang?
No,
Or-
we are using all 5 elements and 6 energies. In that, I will tell you which is yin and which is yang, how much yin, how much yang in the next video.
Okay, okay.
For example, fire is also yang, wind is also yang, but we are using in different ways. So whenever you are moving from yin and yang to 5 elements, no, your possibility become double, triple. Then you can easy to analyze and treat. Got it? Yes, Anusuya madam, how are you? Anusuya Parkade.
Yes, Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
Uh,
Tell me, madam.
Namaskar, sir. Sir, actually, what happened? I'm treating my husband. He is having all palm cracked and swelling also is having. So, and he is feeling something, no? So I thought he is having, this is yin, yes, white part.
White part is
Okay. Yin. So all cracks are there here, and he is not unable to drive also. So I did lung 7 tonification.
good.
So and by 4 o'clock or 3:30, he gets up, and by 12 o'clock he goes to bed. So he is having yin excess, right?
No, if cracks are there means when your earth become crack, when there is no water.
Okay.
Cracking is happening means yin is deficient.
In is deficient. Okay, okay. So
But
by
to give yin energy only, you are giving LU7.
LU7. Lungs controls the water passages. Okay. That I have tonified. But in diet, what I have to give them?
Just to reduce the spices and sour, that's it.
That I have this fermented idli dosa also, it is to be reduced.
Everything is okay, just to reduce the sour.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Muruganandan.
This one, when you say this chi energy, right? So that means for the all organ, it's having individual chi, or the total body is having common chi?
Total body is having common chi, but each and every organ its own chi energy. For example, food chi is governed by spleen and stomach. Okay, air chi is governed by lungs. Okay, for example, you have 100 rupees, in that each organ using 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 20 rupees, like that. The chi is distributed to function. If heart chi is not there, you are not giving money to your son heart, you won't work. Chi is required for everyone. But for somebody, some organ become weak, some organ become low because of the deficiency of the chi. As a healer, as an acupuncturist, you have to use the skill who are all weak, for which are all the organ chi is deficient. To them, you have to give the chi energy by doing color, magnet, or exercises, by changing the food and all.
Okay.
Okay. So that part we are learning in the next week. 5 elements, 12 organs, okay, and 14 meridians. All we are using in the next upcoming class. Okay.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Yes, Vijay Kumar.
Good morning, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, during class of running, you are becoming sleepy due to early morning wake up or too much doing yoga and lectures and so and so. Yeah.
Hey, your yang may be excess. That's what you are feeling sleepy.
Yang may be excess.
Yeah, so much of activity that makes you in. That's what I told you in the fourth law. The excess of yang converts into in. Okay. If you don't want to sleep, before class, you put on dark blue color here, left hand small finger.
Left hand small finger.
Yeah, put one dark blue, you won't sleep. Throughout the class, you are active.
Okay, sir.
Here.
Left hand. Below nail.
Yeah. But immediately after the class, erase it. Otherwise, you won't get sleep.
Dark blue. Okay, sir.
Fine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Chital.
Yes, sir. Actually, when we were speaking about the wax and the wane technology, the methodology that you were trying to teach, you stated about the spleen in and you stated about the middle finger, second line, the methi seed point. This point you were trying to tell for 10 seconds, right? Similarly, when Swati stated about the in excess that she gets a jerk in the midnight as well, you stated the same point to apply a methi seed. How these two are correlated? How to, because that was the absorption and the star yang to be decreased and so on we saw.
The first one, listen here. First one, when you touch, when you increase spleen in, the stomach yang will go down.
Correct. Okay.
For that example, I stated this.
Correct.
Second time, she told, I have already excess of yin energy in the spleen.
Correct. Yeah.
Then I told, due to, then I applied fourth law. Due to excess of yin energy, your jugs are creating.
Okay. Okay.
Then I started reducing this.
Okay, so by applying methi seed, we are reducing the yin energy so that it gets, okay, so it's not tonification, it's sedation part. Okay.
We are using only 2 seeds, methi and pepper. Methi for sedation, tonification, pepper. That's it.
Okay, so it is reducing so that she is not getting jerks.
When you touch, to touch on any point, increasing that point energy.
Okay. Okay.
Methi will reduce.
Okay. Similarly, during the morning times, I have seen myself when I'm at temple or something, I get little bit of jerk and so on. So why that happens? Is it something different because of the yang excess or so?
No. Yang excess, you feel giddiness and fainting. The yang is symptoms is upper side body.
Oh, okay.
Body jerking means it's a yin only.
Oh, jerk is always a yin. Okay, giddiness is yang.
Yang.
Okay, fine. Okay, got it. Thank you.
So I hope you learned the yin and yang in deep. We will share you few of the PPTs and the slides to you tonight. Just go through. Always learning is a continuous process. We'll learn. And if you have further doubts, you just text me. Okay. Yes, last one more person is there, Saroja.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, heartfelt gratitude to you, sir. She is much better now, my daughter. Thank you million tons, sir. You have saved her again.
No,
really, sir.
Don't always run when she is feeling sick. Before only you take care. observe carefully what she is eating and how is her energy levels, because you already learnt Yin and Yang. By
Sir?
seeing, by activity, you can know. Whenever you see a small imbalance, Yin is less, Yang is more, give some food or give some point to rise it. So whenever Yang is excess, reduce that. So try to balance. See, whenever symptom generates, that times you take little time to reduce. As a healer, you should not leave your body to go to that state. Before only you should care, because there is a body language always telling much ahead. Observe your girl carefully every day. Whenever, for example, she says, I'm not feeling hungry, I'm not eating. Then once okay, twice okay. Third time also she is telling me, oh, stomach is weak. Not getting sleep. One day is okay. Second also complaining, okay, there's maybe a liver heat excess. Like that, you have to observe the body much before then symptoms generates. Okay.
Sir, basically, what is the problem, sir? She has both, no, sir, this cough problem and she has excess bleeding also. What is it, sir? Yin or Yang, sir?
It's a Yang. You told no, our pulse rate is 115.
Yes, sir.
It's a Yang. Okay. Don't worry, she will be fine. Thank you. Good
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So I hope you getting into Yin and Yang now. So then from next week onwards, we'll go to the organ level. In the organ level, you are finding the Yin and Yang, in which meridian and which this one. So we will share you the PPT and some charts. Just go through that. And if you have further questions, please welcome. Okay. So thank you. See you next Thursday evening, 8 p.m. Good night.